GM everyone, welcome back to another Greenie and Craig live. So good to be back. Apologies for the delay. My camera was exhausted, but I forgot that it wasn't plugged in, so that was my fault. So I mean, I apologize to Craig. I apologize to you all. Craig, how are you doing today, mate? We've just come out of the most, honestly, wildest weekend I think I've ever seen in crypto, and I've been around a long time. How you feeling? Give me a diagnosis. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, GM Greenie, GM everyone out there. Yeah, man, that was that was a pretty crazy weekend, for us. Yeah, actually, it would be a weekend in America as well. But yeah, was it Saturday mid morning, and Trump coin or something launched approximately. I don't know exactly when it went, but we can talk about that a bit more later. But obviously, him and Melania, and then everyone. And then I saw Cuba coin. I don't know if that was official of the country. I doubt it anyway, but.
Yeah, I saw a Germany one this morning. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, been wild times. Obviously, the inauguration we can talk about. I was just kind of catching up on that. GM, Kledos, GM, everyone out there. Greenie, how are you? Getting your sleep back? How's jet lag?
Mate, not too bad. I'm finally starting to feel a bit better. I've been tweeting a bit about outside crypto things recently. I think that's important because so many people don't talk about things. So today I've actually been focusing on the health food side of it and getting lots of good engagement there, trying to work out like what the best sort of oil is, what the best bread is, what the best healthy food choices are, that sort of stuff. But previously over the weekend, I was spending a lot more time sort of on the mental health side around like working from home so hard, Craig. And I know you're probably in the same boat, right? Like we spend like I probably talk to more people than my in real life friends, but they're all via computers or they're via live streams and that sort of stuff or messages, right? It's so different to in-person conversations and deassociation. So it's a big thing for me at the moment is trying to focus on a balance. And so, no, I've been good, mate. Like it's been a wild weekend. And I actually, yesterday when Barron Trump, which was not, I don't know if it was the legit Barron token, but it launched and I was playing golf, but I got home and then we managed to get a 7X on that one too. So yeah, it's very interesting. Hey, the jet lag's finally worn off, which is good, but my missus is still a bit unwell at the moment. So that's a shame. Yeah, Craig, look, let's dive straight into it, mate. The inauguration speech this morning, I watched a simple highlight, nothing too I didn't watch the whole thing. And I saw that a lot of people on crypto Twitter already fills you in with all the details, really. And so Trump didn't mention anything to do with Bitcoin or crypto specifically. And you got to remember, guys, like in his inauguration speech, crypto isn't the forefront of his mind, okay? It's an extra asset that, yes, there's millions of people that use it, that millions of people want to see it go up, of course. But there's so many bigger catalysts at play that directly or indirectly probably impact the cryptocurrency market. We're talking inflation, okay? We're talking partnerships of war. We're seeing, like, there's so many things, right? And so for me, everyone's like, oh, shit, he didn't mention it. Like, that's super bearish. To be honest, it was like, I would think it's probably quite rare for him to mention something like that in his inauguration speech. Okay, that's where I then go, okay, in the next week or two, if we don't hear anything about a strategic reserve or anything around that, then potentially that's where you might be like, okay, well, what's actually going to happen? When is that going to take place, Craig? What do you think?
Yeah, same thought process as me, which is one of the reasons why when it pumped up pre-inauguration, I took some profit, man, because I had a feeling. In fact, I may have put it in the call group. My thoughts were, if he does mention it, it will probably pump. It'll pump a lot more. If he doesn't mention it, it's going to dip because people, I
Yeah.
think, were front running the chance of him saying something about it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, what you just said there, I thought about it. I was like, I don't think he's going to mention anything on
Yeah.
inauguration day. So yeah, that was the reason behind me taking profit on Bitcoin. I bought about 108,000, took some profit on Ray, took profit on Sol in the last 48 hours when it pumped up. So yeah, I wasn't surprised he didn't mention anything. And I suppose the market reacted to him not and pulled back slightly, but it looks like everything's still under control, man. Looks like Bitcoin's still bouncing support. Everything looks like it's still good to go to me.
So yeah, you took profits. I took profits. We were talking last night in GTG with Sexy and a few others as well. And you said that you did take profit. So I want to know how much of your bag is left in crypto percentage wise. What did you take profit on? And are you buying like a dip or anything right now? Like, are you like, I want to hear your whole caboodle.
Yeah. So in my post last night, I said I sold 10% of my bag. I actually ended up selling another 10% of Bitcoin.
Sick.
Actually, it ends up being about 30%. So I've sold about 30% Bitcoin total now. So I basically got two more extra points. I thought with Bitcoin I had 3 extra points. This one at all-time high, about 120 to 130K and about 150K.
I like that.
I'll keep a moon bag, so don't get upset, everyone who's listening to what I'm saying right now. But basically, I'll sell 30% at each one of those points, and one of them was yesterday. So I just want to take 30% off. The reason why is for Bitcoin in particular, I was buying up pretty big from 40 to 50 and 50 to 60.
Yeah.
So I was about a 2 to 2.5x on those purchases.
Yeah.
The strategy on those buys there was to go in quite heavier than I normally would, and to exit before I got greedy. I wasn't look, I'd love a 3x on Bitcoin. I love a 5x on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But I was happy with that 2x. So I took it. Yeah. What else did I exit? I exited Sol at about I can't remember what it ran to. Was it 270?
Yeah, 260 yesterday, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ray, I exited at about 725, something around there. Also, because you and me were up quite substantially on Ray. So my positions on that, Sol I've probably exited about, actually they're all about, say Sol's probably 30% as well. Ray, like you, we spoke last night, it's more like 70% out now.
Yeah.
The main reason being, I think you're up much more than me, but I'm up, I don't know, 7x. Yeah. So for me, a 7x on an altcoin at the moment, I'm quite happy with. And don't get me wrong, I'm sort of about 40% in there, which I'll scale out as we go. So to answer your question on dip buying, will I buy dips? Yeah, absolutely. If Bitcoin sort of breaks support and heads towards the 80s, my thesis is still the same. The numbers I sort of gave in the call group, if we go into the 80s, I will go in pretty heavy, man. Yeah. Just as long as it maintains structure.
Yeah.
If we see a break below, like we spoke on last week on stream, if we see a break below 78, what was the pivot point? Might have been 78, was it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 70. 80K. I don't think we get that far personally.
No, neither do I. That's when I'll start to go, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't DCA, and you know what I mean. But so I'm a good I'm a good 30% out of Bitcoin, 30% out of Sol, and about 70% out of Ray. Those are the ones I sold. Still waiting to get out of Render. It hasn't done as much as I would have liked. Ethereum, obviously, I've only got a little bit left. I've got a bit left actually from when we still bought, but ended up going into Azuki. So I don't have a lot of just ETH. Mm-hmm. Kind of thankfully, actually looking at it again, because it hasn't done a lot, but we can look at that a bit later. So yeah, man, I'm doing what I promised myself. I'm selling into all-time high pumps. Sol went ahead all-time high and went into price discovery. I said to myself, you got to sell here, bro. If you don't sell in price discovery, when you sell it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's great thesis, and I agree. I clipped 5% of my No, 10% of my Bitcoin last night at 108K. Very grateful. Well, it was actually 109K. So very grateful. It's down 6K, which is quite a lot of money. But really interestingly, Craig, I bought Radium today.
Aha, did I?
Or last night. Yeah. So it's obviously, we all know I've been holding Radium since about 50 million. I did rotate out some at 6. I had an automatic sell at 6.8. I bought it 7.2 last night. It's now at 7.4. Mando put a great thesis up today, just really compounding my thoughts that I've had for a very long time. GM is sexy in the chat. Yeah, like Mando put up a really good post about why you should hold Radium and why it's probably going to be the one that outperforms moving forward. And that's been my whole catalyst since literally 0.2 in July in 2023. So I've held it from 50 million. I don't know what it's worth now. A couple bill. I don't even know. 2 bill, I think. So I'm up. Yeah, I'm up over 40x, I think now. But I bought more yesterday. I actually plowed a fair amount of money into it because my reasoning is, Craig, is when altcoin season does come, and it will come, guys, just be patient, okay? We've got a lot of catalysts still to play out. BTC dominance still is just showing a little bit more medium-term strength. Okay, it probably chills up here for a little bit longer, but once that starts to chill, there's no hesitation in my doubt that this cycle has been Solana's cycle. And if you have learned things from the past, and this is what I've done, you'll learn that it's a cycle narrative. And so Solana's the where you want to be trading, and you want to make as much Solana. But within that, you then go down the risk curve within that ecosystem. And Radium for me is the best play and has been the best play as a beta play to Sol since July 2023. And I still say it is the best play sub Solana in that ecosystem, better than Jupiter, which has an unlock literally in the coming weeks. Better than probably like Render is a loose play for Solana because it's on Solana, but it's also an AI play. It's also gaming and those sorts of things, infrastructure and stuff as well. Pith, again, is an oracle, obviously on Solana. So for me, Radium is generating a shit ton in fees. They were the first platform that you could actually go on and swap before Jupiter. That's why I bought it initially as the main DEX swap. You farm liquidity pools on Radium, okay? It is generating so many fees. It's within the Solana narrative and meta that at $7.40 here, Craig, I generally think this still has so much potential. And if you do go back and look at history, guys, think about Ethereum DeFi last cycle. So Uniswap, other beta plays within it, okay, or within that, right? Like Sushi Swap, okay, they all went absolutely bananas. So for me, Craig, I think something like Radium here at $7.4 is still very much worth at least more allocation than what I've given other players. So like you, I did take some profit in Bitcoin yesterday. I actually did take some Solana off the tables as well at about 260-ish. And I put that back into Radium, and I probably will sell the rest back to the bank and slowly just DCA out because same sort of thing as you. Now I want to move houses. So I really enjoy Brisbane, but it's in real life situations that people don't think about. And so for me, I'm like, okay, well, how can I start earning passive income outside of crypto? And so I'm looking to buy a property. So I want to move up to the coast potentially. So I'm obviously need more liquid assets to pay for tax and then obviously to pay for that. So I'm already starting to forward think, okay, where do I want to be in 6 months, in 12 months time? Okay. And sure, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be trading cryptocurrency every single day. We're shorting, longing, Memecoins when we can, NFTs. I still have hundreds of thousands of dollars in NFTs. So for me, I'm like, okay, but how can I start forward thinking about what about 2026, okay, 2027, okay? And then that's where you need to be starting to think about as well, guys. Barbie's asking, where are your targets for Radium? So I'm just using simple fibs for Radium. So the next target for Radium is probably probably 8.95 would be my next sort of target. Then it may be 11, and then probably up to about 13.5. So I put a tweet out. I actually shared this morning after Mando basically was like, yeah, Radium, it's the best thing. I put my tweet out, and then in the comment, I had a look and I was like, when did I shill this? I shilled it in July, like 27th, 2023. And I'll literally say, fundamentally, this is one of the best tokens. And obviously the chart here is leaving its accumulation zone. And that is literally when it left its 0.2 area. And it hasn't obviously been anywhere near that since. But the best part was I put an estimation. I said, my bullish take or whatever it was, but my speculating take is that it reaches a new all-time high, 75x from the bottom. And Craig, for the first time in a long time, I was very bullish like you, and that's why I set take profits at that $6.80 level because like I'm up, 35x. But for the first time in a long time, I'm actually like, no, you know what? My thesis from July 23 could definitely play out to the point that it could get to $18 and be a new all-time high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I know the point you bought, because that's where I actually sold. Obviously, when it broke through that resistance there,
Yeah.
and that $6, is it 680?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could have bought somewhere around there, right, 680
Yeah.
to what you got in at 720.
Yeah.
Not a bad spot, because it actually looks like it's bouncing there on that fib level. So it looks like continuation higher is on the cards to me on Ray. And I agree. You and me had that thesis on Ray a year and a half ago, 2 years. And I agree with you. Probably not a bad thing to go heavy. And if anything, it's the chart movements kind of confirm what we thought.
Exactly.
So I guess you're just saying I'm going in heavier now because we've been proved semi-right. So why wouldn't that continue? Because Solana, as you said, is probably going to continue as the degen chain. I don't know what's going to come in and take that spot. I don't think it's too late. It's too late.
It's too late for this cycle, correct? Yes.
Yeah. The cycle, I think, sewn up, right? Solana's taking the casino trophy. Bitcoin's taking, the top trophy. Ethereum's going to get the worst performer of probably the bull run. Well, who knows? Actually, I won't say that too soon. It could still pump off the bottom. But, I mean, opportunity cost holding Ethereum for 2 years versus Sol, pretty severe. So even if Ethereum pumps off the lows, you're probably better to have had Sol, rotated in the high, then go into Ethereum. But yeah, I'm with you on Ray. I think it'll be a big performer, and I might even consider if we get a pullback, which I don't know if we're going to get here, but if we get,
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think we do.
Neither do I. Yeah, I don't think so either.
So then I want to ask. I've lost my train of thought, but I was thinking. So for me, like, that was my point. Is strength 1 point? Sexy says here, Ray, with the current market cap of Uniswap, which is obviously the largest DEX swapper on Ethereum, would be $28. So that gives it 4x from here, which would easily put it a new all-time high. I very much am in that camp now, and that's why I went heavy into it last night. And I'm grateful I did. It's up a little bit, obviously, and I think it continues. Mm-hmm. But I think a lesson for me, Craig, and I think a lesson pretty much just summarizing what you said as well, is don't fade strength in a bull market. Like, strength is strength for a reason. And so many people in crypto think, okay, Filecoin is the leader. It's up at 200 million. Okay, I'm going to look for the next Filecoin, when the best play is to buy Filecoin at 200 million. And the same thesis as Solana, okay? Oh, Solana's at 250. It's up from $8. Yeah, sure. But it is this cycle's narrative that pushes it to $750. Yeah. And Ethereum might not even get a 2x from here, okay? So you need to ignore what everyone says, what maybe a lot of people don't know, and it's actually strength. And so for me, someone who's been in 3 cycles, okay? Not many people out there have three cycle experience. A lot of people have 2 cycle experience. But for someone like me, you learn that strength is strength for a reason, and to not fade that.
I totally agree, man. Especially by this stage of the bull run, I think, speculative bets could still come into play.
Yeah.
And we might get some in fact, not might. We're going to get some outliers that come and run hard, but none of us are going to see it coming. Whereby what you can see coming is, well, not coming, it's already happening, it's the strength, like you said. So yeah. I personally find riding momentum and volume the way I tend to trade. Yeah. Last bull run, I learned that fundamentals don't matter as much as I would have liked them to have mattered. Yeah. I used to go heavy into fundamentals. This run, they're getting a bit of love. But narrative is the thing to buy. So Sol's the narrative of this run. They played their retail hand really well with the Solana Saga phone. All those little things they did a year or 2 ago, they're bearing fruit now. Ethereum didn't do those little things. And then you've got Vitalik talking about changing management now and stuff like that. Shit, that's messy at the tippy end of a bull run, man, talking about that shit. Management changes, man.
Yeah, I know. It's like that's bear market. That's bear market.
Yeah, man. That's bad. Like, what's he doing? And then a Milady PFP.
Yeah. He's also but that just shows where.
They sold yesterday. Ethereum
Yeah.
Foundation dumped a whole bunch of ETH again. So it's like,
Did that? Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that. Like, it just looks like it's a bit of a shambles, going through a transition phase, which is fine. Like, as
it was
compared,
fine.
like that's how technology works, right? They were the first They were the first developer chain. Let's call it that. Okay.
Yeah.
They were the first potential that a lot. Trust me, Ethereum money is built different. Okay, that's why I'm trading NFTs on Ethereum. Now, that was the first sort of innovation of developer chain, smart contracts, right? And that came out of like when I started crypto about 2017, 2016. And from there, right, of course, as technology improves, as more people like leave Ethereum, a lot of the developers out there on other chains are from Ethereum initially, okay? And as they go there, then they start building out other platforms to make it faster, to make it more scalable, okay, to make it cheaper, okay? Solana, okay, is a classic example. Phantom, okay. Near, we have like all of these other L1s, okay. You then obviously have these L2s that come out to play, and so the tech gets better. And of course, if you're that dinosaur, I'm not going to call Ethan dinosaur, but if you're the first pioneer in that technology industry, are you the one that succeeds over time? I hope so. I have a decent bag of Ethereum, but for me, right, as technology and the world evolves, a lot of people don't think rationally like this. It's maybe not going to be the best play moving forward. And sometimes it does fall away and maybe not get as many ROIs as the new chains that are exciting. Look at Hyperliquid, okay? It's a classic example of something that launched, okay? And you see a lot of failures. You see stuff like Aptos, okay, that hasn't done well. You're seeing Sui come out and do a lot of great things. You're seeing Say still being talked about. So technology evolves. And so I think Ethereum is currently going through that stage. Okay, how can we evolve it to focus on what we want to do? Do we want to focus obviously on the dev side, or do we want to focus on the Solana verse side? Okay, they're also still trying to figure that catalyst out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly right. And you may find, Ethereum, I guess, is kind of going through that maturing phase now, almost like the teenage years, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit tantrumy. It's throwing its toys, blah, blah, blah. The new sexy thing comes along. The fitter, faster chain will seemingly comes along. But hey, look, next bull run, you may find Ethereum's that, they might have sorted this shit and that might gig us in. Yeah. So I guess the point we're trying to make is hop on momentum, hop on the hot narrative, because that's probably what's going to continue over the next 6 months to a year, if we even get a year left. Yeah. Like, I don't know, Greenie. Well, I mean, I know we've spoken about this, but I know we were sort of on the lines of thought that Q1's going to be pretty good, and then we may see a Q2, Q3 dip or crab, and then a Q4 maybe last hurrah. I don't know. So there's not a lot of time to pivot. If you get it wrong now, you kind of, this is the time where you kind of got to get it right, because there's not much time left.
No, I agree, and I think Q1's definitely going to be a local top, or at least the cycle top, in my opinion. So I'll be looking to scale out a decent portion either into stables or into fiat as well. So, all right, well, let's segue a little bit, Craig. Obviously, there's a few other catalysts at the moment. So we've obviously got Memecoins starting to like show a bit of potential. I'm seeing the graduation rate up at 1.5%, which is the highest it's been in months in the trenches, which is good to see. However, major Memecoins, I'm talking WIF, I'm talking MOG, I'm talking Pepe, I'm talking Ponky, I'm talking Bonk. Bonk did break out, but like it's down 10% today. Farcoin's down 15% today. What's your thesis on Memecoins right now? Are you focusing on stuff that's oversold? So for me, I bought some MOG, I bought some FWOG. Or are you focusing on newer trends, or are you just avoiding this altogether because it is quite literally a bloodbath, except for like FWOG's up 10% today, Giga's 2%. What else? SPX is 2%. Like Doge. Oh, no. That's Dog on Bitcoin's up 18%, but that's down a lot over time. Like, what's your thesis here? I'll give you my bags. I currently own Pengu, Rect, MOG, and FWOG. That is it in terms of my long-term Memecoin bags.
Yeah, so for me, I'm Pepe, MOG, obviously Dog on the Ruin side. That's not far off it on my biggest bags. There's a bit of Bitcoin in there. But as far as actual bags, we're speaking about MOG, Pepe, and Dog. My thesis, or what I'm going to do now, yes, I'm looking for entries on established coins rather than hot narratives. Hot narratives are great. Unfortunately, I had a 40th to go to when Trump launched, so I didn't want to be rude. And, I'm the kind of person, if I'm in a trade, I find it hard to focus on other things in life. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to be in a trade and then obviously be at a social event and be that guy on his phone.
That was literally me last night at dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, nah. So I actually left my phone at home, which I haven't done in years. I left my phone at home and went out, and it was fucking good not to have it on me, man. So
That's
I
good.
missed that trade. So GG to those who ran the Trump trade, Jesus. But no, so
Yeah.
I'm looking to get entries on established memes. If a hot one comes along that I happen to be lucky enough to be in the trenches at the time, cool.
Yeah.
But I'm also wary. I don't want to give the casino my money back, man.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing people. I saw a few accounts rinse themselves, man. I know
Yeah.
one guy I've been in the trenches with for 3 years. He left the space yesterday. Leveraged Trump, obviously, and leveraged. I'm going to guess his whole port. So
People are so dumb, bro.
completely rinsed his whole portfolio, years of work. Look, this isn't you're a fucking idiot thing. This is me saying, guys, don't go all in on anything, man.
Oh,
And all
never.
in on leverage, fuck. So anyway, be careful with leverage out there, guys.
Yeah.
Greeny and I have spoken about this. This part of the bull run is going to be
Yeah.
so volatile, where what I mean by that is the highs are high and the lows are low, and the wicks or the candles you see. Well, we saw it with Bitcoin. We saw that dip. It's massive. Look at Trump's dip. It was about a 70% candle down.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
have wrecked everyone who was longing. I doubt there was anyone with a
No.
stop loss or anything lower than
No.
that.
Yeah.
So be careful with leverage at the moment, guys. It can be a dangerous thing.
I agree. I'm also sitting in some red positions, but I'm managing that accordingly, right? So I've got low leverage. I've only allocated 1 to 2% per trade. So if it hits a stop loss, it's only 1 to 2% of a loss. So a lot of people don't realize that as well. But just looking at the price action, right? Bitcoin went. This is the biggest asset in the world in terms of crypto, right?
Yep.
This asset went up 9% in the space of hours. Okay. In half an hour, went up 9%. That is $200 billion of market cap. Okay. That is just wild. So you can't be leveraged. Like the only thing I would ever say you put full port into is probably Bitcoin. You don't want to full port anything else. Honestly, you don't. And then you're hodling that for 5 to 10, 20 years, right? So yeah, Craig, it's really interesting times right now. And that's interesting. So which meme coins are you interested if you do see a dump? Now, obviously, there's a few commenters saying whiff. Whiff is showing a lot of weakness. In my opinion, it probably has lower. Okay. It probably goes back down and retests its 0.786, which is at about the dollar, a little bit above the $1.05 mark. So it's at $1.40 now. So I definitely think it can go lower. So outside that, it's probably the same bags. Pengu, for me at least, Pengu, Rect, probably Mog and Fog. I mean, Fog's pumping today, but yeah. What about you, Craig?
Yeah, I'm even narrower than that at the moment. I will probably, like I said, I'll just continue to top up my Mog and Pepe bags.
Yeah.
I'm tempted. I mean, I should be in this heavy already, Doge.
That's not a bad play.
Just because Elon, did you hear in the inauguration, Elon said we're sending Doge to the moon?
No, did he?
He said that at the fucking inauguration, man. So
he's such a loose cannon, bro.
Like I think I'm irresponsible not being in that, considering Elon's in that. What's a government of efficiency? What's he in?
Yeah.
So I mean, Elon's pretty notorious for shilling his bags, other bags. I don't know what you want to call it, but so I'm thinking I need to get in Doge, man. But I feel late, but maybe I'm not, because this part of the bull run can get quite frothy, and if you've got him, pulling some strings, and now that you've probably got the SEC to back off a little bit on him, because they've given him a hard time, man, over the years.
Yeah.
If the SEC are going to, I mean, he's been pretty wild in the past. What's he going to be like if he's unleashed?
Exactly.
So I think Doge may not be a bad play. But I haven't looked at the chart, so I'm kind of saying that without
I kind of don't mind this chart here. Like, we're on the 3-day. 3-day does have room for higher. We are consolidating in a range here. Obviously, we got that pump yesterday. I don't mind this. Probably for about a 2 to 3x though. I don't know how much higher it'll go from here.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with these calls I'm making now. I would do heavier bids.
Yeah.
And just go for 2Xs and get out, sort of thing.
And look, so like this is a great example. Mog is probably reaching a very much oversold territory here.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think it's not far away from its swing low of 0.786 at about one, whatever the price is. I don't know what price is, but
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking. I think this is. I will probably buy more here
same.
at that level there. I mean, if we look at some other plays as well, guys, because that's what you all love to see, the charts. Like Pepe as well is consolidating here. Again, look at this on the 3-day chart. Very much oversold or reaching oversold territory. Okay. Expansion probably comes in the coming weeks. Maybe mid-Feb, I'd say. So Pepe looks pretty good here, not going to lie. Flog has been a long time dancing. Look at this. This is a chart that Greeny buys, okay? That is a chart that Greeny buys. And Greeny's been buying this chart. So I think this is definitely one. And again, same. You just got to stay patient. These aren't pumps that are going to take like hours, right?
Weeks or months.
This probably look at that, 31st of January. So at least 10 days before we maybe get a resolution out of this. And then if not, well longer before you start to see it go a lot higher, right? And Pengu's one that I've been buying. I think this is a no-brainer. I drew that yesterday. This is a bull wedge, in my opinion. I think this is like with Abstract as a catalyst there as well. I think Pengu will be the one that I hold into the airdrop. Maybe I do sell my Penguin. I don't know. I'll wait and see. But that's what I'm looking at there. A bit of a bull flag, wedge, whatever you want to call that, falling wedge. Okay, that looks pretty good to me right now as well. Obviously, momentum on that one is a little bit different because it's a newer token. So if we look at the daily, again, look, Craig, we're starting to see oversold territory for a lot of these top meme coins.
I think there's a massive amount of opportunity in the market at the moment. Memes are the opportunity at the moment. Altcoins as well, but memes. Altcoins are actually looking quite well. The good ones are looking healthy. Memes are the ones that are looking like they're oversold. So I would say the opportunities in memes at the moment, less so alts. But I think with alts, if you pick the right ones, which we've spoken about, Sol, Ray, Sui, I mean, you can go through the charts now, and Greeny and I do it a lot. You know, you look at your fib levels, see what's above the 50%. Are we in the in an area of strength or weakness? Pick the charts that are in areas of strength, unless there's a bullish catalyst coming of something that's an area in weakness, but that's probably a bit harder to find at the moment, I think.
Yeah. Sexy's also coming in here and just slowly, surely seeing people up their leverage when they run into these hype days that eventually people get right. Yeah, I agree, man. It's just so, come on. This is the time to exercise even more caution and even more like strategies, right?
Yeah, at this stage of the bull run, I am so cautious, dude. I'm like a cat on a hot tin roof, man. As I've said over the last weeks and months, people have got to probably annoyed with me talking about selling all the time, but this is the part of the market where it's game time. You kind of got to focus, right? I kind of feel like this is the time. This is why I kind of keep saying I need a fucking holiday, man. Because the concentration. Yeah, bro, I need some time off because the concentrate. And don't get me wrong, I love the space and I love these streams. I love everything about it. I don't want to leave, but I know I need to.
You probably need, and I agree. I think for at least a week at some point in this year, I think for a week or two, I will also just step away and say, look, I just need to step away because I've been full time in this space since January 23. So I just need to chill.
Yeah, just to let your brain cool off a little bit because obviously the concentration, well, for me and you, it's a lot of concentration, isn't it? As well as trying to provide opportunities for people, charts. So, you and me, we're looking at things every day.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, man, this is the best job in the world. I'm so stoked I found this. Yeah. It's absolutely, I'm very grateful. Yeah. But even something you love, you can have too much of, right? So I can't wait for this bull run to do its thing so I can step back and have a little bit of time off with the fam. But man, at the same time, this is what I wanted, right? So I can't really complain. This is what you and me were doing through the bear market to be at this position right now. So I'm definitely not whinging, but I can't wait till I'm on the beach for a couple of weeks, man. Jesus.
I know.
Soon, man. Soon.
It is. And so, let's talk about what altcoins you're interested in. Now, I bought a fair amount of XRP down at this dip here. So that's doing very nicely. I bought a little bit of Sui, but I actually have decided to de-risk that. mainly because of token unlocks and because of just how like this is straight up like this is crazy. Like
that's begging for a pullback.
If you look at that, that's up 9x in 170 days. So I actually de-risked it and only had a small portion back. I've been buying a bit of Near here. I think Near is not a bad play at all. Near versus really good. BTC looks good. I also think Pith here is a very good shout as well. AVAX, I think, is just worth a hodl. Like, as much as it's been underwhelming this cycle, it's probably one of the stronger tokens in terms of utility. So AVAX for me is one I've been buying. Render also is a buy here, in my opinion. If you look at, again, like we spoke about before, it fits in the AI narrative. It fits in the Solana narrative. Radium, we spoke about that at the time. Like, send Radium to $10, boys. Send it $10. Jupiter, I'm avoiding personally. IMX and gaming tokens. Now, Sexy did get me onto some gaming tokens. So I bought AXL is one that I bought. Again, I can't remember what these do, but I trust his word and I dived into it. Gala Games is also one that's very much oversold / found the bottom, in my opinion. So I think that's definitely one that's on my radar that I did buy a little bag of. Super as well. Like, don't fade, one of the strongest calls out there. Elio Trades. I think that's a no-brainer probably moving forward. And then this random BB one that he shielded as well. So Sexy, you can give me some info in the comments, legend. Then we can talk about those as well. But that's pretty much all my altcoin bags, except for obviously I own a bit of ETH, Sol, and BTC as well. But like we said before, Craig, I think it's about, you want to forward think and you want to, like, everyone's always like, Greeny, when do you take profits? Or like, how do you go about that? And so for me, right, it's actually more of a fundamental questions about what you need the money for in real life. Okay. Are you sorted in real life so you can take it to the absolute risk maximum and look to maybe sell Bitcoin at 150 or 200 if we get there, right? Or do you think that or are you heavily leveraging crypto? Someone like me who has literally, now I have plenty of money in the bank, but who has like 80% of his net worth only in crypto and nothing else. Okay. And I go, okay, well, how can I diversify? How can I get property exposure? Those sorts of things. Like, it very much determines that. Are you earning money in real life right now? Okay. Are you not? Okay. Is this a side hustle? Do you have time to be switched in every day and be like, okay, if something does happen, I can just click sell at the moment. There's so many things that come into it, Craig. And so it's a very unique case-by-case basis. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. Even with a simple trade, right? Like, if you look at BTC, like we've spoken about, okay, you and me have taken profits at this 1.618 extension because we were buying below here. All of our buys were here, okay, for BTC. So of course, for us, we're up basically nearly a 3x, okay, if not already a 3x. So for me, I think, like, it's a case-by-case basis. It's a coin-by-coin basis. And I suppose, Craig, what are some general strategies for what people should do?
Yeah, I mean, a general strategy would be get your initial out as quickly as possible. So if you hit a 2x, pull your initial. That way you'll never lose money. That's a good rule of thumb. A lot of people probably won't do that because they think if they keep the money and they can they can make it an accelerated rate, which is correct. But if it goes down, then you fuck yourself. So my advice would be probably take your initials as quickly as you can, especially at this stage of the bull market. I would have been a bit looser with that through the bear because I knew the upside was so great. Whereas now I think time's ticking. So probably get your initial out quite quickly. I think have a plan. Have your entries and exits set, mainly your exits at the moment. So have your limit sales, your sell limit set. Take your emotion out of it. Easy. What I mean by that, guys, if you don't know, don't leave it to yourself to manually click sell on pumps. You may not be awake when the pumps happen, and by the time you wake up, they may have pulled back, so you'll miss the pump. Happens a lot overnight for us Australians. And B, it's really hard to click sell when something's pumping because greed kicks in, and greed's a crazy emotion. So for me, for instance, with Radium, I woke up, what was it, Saturday, Sunday morning, and one of my sell limits got hit. And lo and behold, there's thousands of dollars in my coin spot, which I chucked in my bank. Because I needed some money in the bank. And there was a few people on the timeline that are like, oh, you're converting to fiat shit. But it's like, man, my mortgage gets paid in fiat. So I can't send my bank Bitcoin. I can't send my bank XRP to pay my mortgage. So, and I wouldn't anyway, because that's why I make money. And I converted it to fiat and then I pay them. But the thing is, the part of the cycle that we're going to go through now, and I spoke about this in your group in GTG, is the cash is trash conversations about to happen.
Now, so what do you mean by that?
Uh,
Tell me about that.
well, because the market's so hot now, everybody is thinking you need to go all in. You need to have all your money in because everything's going to pop off, and this is the greatest opportunity to turn $1 into $5. I agree, but people
Mm-hmm.
like you and me have been in the market for 3-4 years.
Yeah.
I don't need to go for a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
I've already won the Super Bowl. I get to
Yeah.
go home with a cheerleader. I'm not going to fuck it up, man. I'm not going to
Yeah.
throw a risky pass that gets intercepted. They score a touchdown and I lose.
Yeah.
I just won't throw the ball, man, if I don't have to.
Yeah.
So long story short, I play quite defensively now in this bull run. I'm trying to preserve capital while being aggressive, and that's kind of probably the hard part of this run for me, because considering this is only my second bull run, remember, guys. So I'm trying things this time that I haven't tried before.
Yeah.
So Greeny's probably in a more luxurious situation than me, being his third. He's tested an A and B, and he's decided what the best thing to do for C is. I haven't tested B yet, so I'm testing B now. So what I mean by testing B is I'm selling aggressively into all-time highs or local highs, and I will buy aggressively on dips, but I'm being quite conservative now. So I can't remember what you asked me, Greeny. I went on a big rant then, but yeah, basically I'm defensively in this bull run.
Yeah, like just your strategies for taking profits, right? And like this is so, and I think that's it. Like you learn when you're over time, okay? Just different strategies. And like you just said, it's a very case by case basis. But for me, and like you said, you're still in the second time. So you're like, okay, well, this is what happened last time, so I'm going to react to that. Whereas I have two case bases. History to then go, okay, well, maybe this could actually happen because this happened in 2017, but this didn't happen in 2021.
That's right.
And so for me, right, I just doubled down on Radium. I just bought a shit ton of Radium with BTC and Solana profits, even at a cycle high. And so because strength is strength in the bull market. So it's the strategy that I've learned over a long period of time. But in the same capacity, I'm also de-risking from other positions at the moment. I sold some of my SUI because I was like, you know what? That looks pretty bearish to me in at least the short term. I'm bidding something like Trump because I'm like, well, if I put 10 grand into this and it does actually go up to 100 billion, then at least I can maybe get a 3x on that trade as well. So like I've got a dip here, I'll probably buy it at 17 billion if it gets there. Holders are down about 15,000 people. So dips are opportunities. Never buy green, buy red. Always, 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 guys. So Crutch is asking, what's the best play for Sol? I'll probably rotate some more at 300. Again, just a reminder, my DCA was between 17 and 30. So at 300, that means I have a 10x across my whole bag, basically. So that's a no-brainer to take some off the table there. Scale, I've set some, as Craig said, some automatic take profits at 300, 350, at 400, at 450. Okay, just if they hit it, sick. If they don't, I'm probably here daily anyway. I can click sell and be like, yeah, we just pumped to 349 and it didn't quite get to 350. I'll probably just go click a manual sell at 345. Those sorts of things, right? And so just being so switched on. Okay. And again, like for me, I probably liquidate absolutely everything. I've thought about it a lot. And I think I liquidate absolutely everything to then go talk to financial advisors, to diversify in different ways, to have passive income in different ways. I probably still do a lot of leverage trading because that's where I know that Sexy, myself, Aussie in the group, and Mac, shout out to Mac with his algos as well. Like we print money with leverage. So for me to leave that is just dumb because that's passive income in so many different ways. So that's probably where I focus my time as we move into the bear market. And then over time, I then start to reaccumulate Bitcoin specifically and maybe start to look for what the next cycle narrative is going to be. So obviously it was Ethereum last cycle. It was NFTs, DeFi last cycle as well. This cycle has obviously been meme coins. It was ordinals at a stage of time. It was Solana NFTs at a stage of time. It was Ethereum NFTs at a stage of time, but it's been Solana the whole cycle. It's been Radium the whole cycle. So I would then have 3 cycles of knowledge to go, okay, I'm actually going to buy $50,000 of this token at bear market lows because it probably could 100x from here, right? That's the sort of play that I'm looking for in 2026 and 2027.
Yeah, and that's sort of the forward thinking I'm doing now as well. And I'm the same as you. I will exit my position, I think, entirely into stables and fiat.
Yeah.
The cash is trash talk is what I was talking about ages ago. What I was saying is it's the stage of the bull run where everyone wants to go all in.
Yeah.
All in. Where I'm the other side of it, I'm trying to get all out.
Yeah.
because I believe there will be a bear market to come.
Yeah.
And it was interesting on my timeline, there was people saying things, and this is a real bull run chat, man. They were
Yeah.
like, man, are you sure there'll be a bear market now that Trump's in and they talk about a
Yeah.
strategic reserve? I'm like, oh my God. So you think there may not be a bear market?
I maybe
There's
not
going to
with
be a bear
Bitcoin.
market, guys.
Yeah. With everything but maybe
Doesn't matter if
Bitcoin.
Trump's in. Doesn't matter who's in. So
Yeah.
the cycle's not dependent on Trump, guys. We're talking about markets that have been around for hundreds of years. The
Yes.
markets they react to Trump, and Trump's fantastic, I think, for squeezing more out of this market.
Yeah.
But whether it was Trump or Carmella, this
Yeah.
bull run is happening and the bear market is happening. It may get slowed down slightly in some areas, it may be sped up in some areas, but hey, it may be buffered in some areas. I'm just saying there's going to be a bear market, there's going to be dips, and I intend to aggressively buy Bitcoin on that bear market dip.
I love that. Noji asks a really good question, and Sexy comes in here, but this cycle is different. Well, every cycle
That's what I
is
said
different.
to the dude.
Every cycle is different, but it
Literally.
is not different to the same trend that happens over time. I definitely think a lot of risk on assets in the coming years are reaching very much overvaluation. They have for a long, long time.
Yes.
Whether we get a catalyst like COVID or something that happens, or a GFC, as much as that is terrible for a lot of people, you just don't know. Okay. And property in Australia, for example, is just stupid. And I know property worldwide is stupid. So it's so many like alarms, red alerts, whatever you want to call it, are going off in my head going, holy shit. Like, you want to kind of, cash, stuff it. Cash sucks. Don't get me wrong. You're being like, inflation kills you, right? However, that is a asset that you control. Okay. Sure. It's in the bank, blah, blah, blah. We can talk about that in a whole different can of worms, but it is a hardcore asset that you own, and if it's in the bank, nothing can happen to it, right? Or it's on a ledger, it's on a USDC ledger, whatever it is, okay? However you want to store your cash, your net worth, that is the strategy. Now, Crypto Noji asked a really good question. Can you talk through contradictions? Fantastic. I love Noji. Noji is one of my favorite commenters. So buy dips, like, is traditionally what I like to trade, okay? Is I wait for red, like look at Trump right now. I've literally got a buy order at a dip. So that's a very fair point. But then he says, buying Ray at the top. Okay. And I pretty much have covered it in the show already. But the reason I'm buying Ray now is because I already had Ray exposure. I've already taken profits in other bags. So for me, I was like, okay, rather than holding, say, let's just give a number, $20,000 in Bitcoin, which I think maybe could 50%, maybe max 2%. I actually think Radium can go at least 2x, sorry. And if not, go to 10x from here, potentially. Best case scenario, 10x from where it currently is. So for me, I'm like, okay, don't ignore strength, okay? Bitcoin's gone on this massive run. I think it does do well from here, but I think something like Radium probably outperforms it. And so I'm happy to double down on strength because of what I'm fundamentally seeing. Dive on chain. Look at Mando's post. I retweeted it this morning. Okay. Have a look at that. Okay. He speaks about the revenue that they're creating. Okay. They are creating the most amount of fees in all of crypto, pretty much. Okay. Don't ignore something like that. Okay. Something like that right now is like, okay, Greeny, buy. Okay?
Yeah, you're making me want to buy, dude.
Exactly. You want to buy that. And then I'm
like, fuck.
And like Craig said, okay, now that I'm buying, because I'm buying at a high in strength, it's a different trade. Okay. I'm not looking for multiples. I'm not looking for something like this, right? On Trump and like selling here. Okay. What I'm looking for is I'm top blasting here into Radium, and I'm looking to go heavier into it for probably maybe a 2x. And if I put 50K into a 2x, that's going to create me 100,000 rather than me holding Bitcoin where it's not going to make me the same amount. Like, so it's all about cost basis. It's all about risk management. It's all about portfolio management. And so I de-risk some SUI to then allocate more into Radium because I'm more bullish on Radium in the medium term. So it's plays like this, okay, that I like to juggle across the situation. And again, I share all these strategies in GTG. Okay, so you can come in there and check us out and hang out with Craig and myself and Sexy and all these fantastic community members as well. Okay, we all are helping each other and trying to win over time. So, Craig, are you interested in Trump coin at all? Talk to me about this. That's why I pulled up the chart.
Yeah, I guess my apprehension says no, but I am only because I've learned with him. You can't really. I shouldn't fade Trump. He's a natural born salesperson. He's smart. He knows how to speak. He knows how to pivot. He knows how to make money. So I guess actually I'm going to say maybe yes. I am interested, but I'm cautious. Okay. I'm cautious because of how loud it is, how noisy it is. There's a lot of hype around it, but then looking at the chart, that's now starting to make me go, okay, because obviously the great thing about looking at charts for the people out there, there's no noise. If you're on the timeline, I'd be
price tells everything. Price tells you everything.
It's just the most purest form of understanding sentiment.
Yeah.
And the more you look at charts, the better you'll get at getting a sense or feel from them. Certainly, Greeny's a lot further ahead than me in it, but I must admit, using it through the bear market and now through the bull, TA has been an absolute lifesaver, man. And I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. Use it, don't use it. Whatever. I'm going to use it. It's kind of like having a treasure map that gives you clues where the treasure is. It may not tell you exactly where the treasure is, but you'll know the general area to be digging. It's either that, or you could just dig holes everywhere in the dirt all over the earth and I hope you find the treasure. So I don't know what you prefer, but I like to have a map.
Well, I agree. And I think this, like Darren's asked here, can we talk about risk curve? And I think that sort of segues into risk curve as well. But TA, right? TA, just really simply put, price shows you everything you need to know unemotionally and without any bias, okay? Because price reflects news, hype, buyers, sellers, and anything, okay? It's controlled by supply, demand, blah, blah, blah. Very simple thesis, okay? And using TA simple strategies, something like lower lows, lower highs, support, resistance, are simple ways to know, okay, should I maybe de-risk? Should I buy? Very simply, that is how TA works. And then obviously, if you want to go down and open a whole can of worms, talk to Sexy because he's a goat at it, okay? That would be my suggestion.
Agreed.
But honestly, outside that, TA is something that everyone should definitely understand. And I think like trading, don't get me wrong, there's definitely ways to trade. Okay. There's two ways. And if you read a lot of books, and shout out to, I'll give some examples. Okay. So 2 ways to trade. And then we'll go back to Darren's comment. 2 ways to trade. Fundamentally, you can trade. Okay. One of my best mates works for, I don't even know, a hedge fund who trades fundamentally. Okay, they understand where assets are moving. Okay, they negotiate with I can't even remember all the terms. There's so many terms. All right, brokers. That's the term. They negotiate with brokers for certain prices and certain rewards and certain goods. Okay, you can do that. I have a family member in Africa who also does agriculture trading. Okay, and so a lot of that is around fundamentals. Okay, why is oil going to pump this week? Because liquidity in Japan is over here. Okay, so it's fundamentally thesis and based. Okay. And so 3 people that you could probably say that I have followed for a very long time who are very fundamentally based is OSF, Mando, Raoul Paul. Okay. Those 3 without a doubt are probably the best follows on crypto Twitter for actual fundamental thesis. Then we open the other can of worms, technical analysis. Now, the best traders use a combination of both fundamental understanding, fundamental analysis, and technical analysis. Okay. And so that focuses more on what me, Sexy, Aussie, Craig also, okay, and other people out there like to do is apply technical analysis on charts because price shows you everything you need to know and unpack it that way. And so as a trader, you like to evolve. And the best traders out there know that they can never learn absolutely everything. And the best traders out there know that you can appreciate other people's ways to make money because there's millions of ways to make money when trading, okay? And so I just want to really put that out there, okay? There's so many ways to trade. There's no one right way to trade, okay? Eric Crown, a great YouTuber to follow, okay? Uses simple statistics to trade, okay? Someone like me and Sexy, we use a whole different strategy. I like to swing trade on higher time frames using Fibonacci. Aussie and Sexy like to use harmonics, okay? There's so many different ways to trade. And understanding that and using those as a catalyst, as well as fundamentally understanding, means that you can evolve yourself so much more and make so many better calculated decisions. So that's my rant about TA. And I think really people need to take that into consideration. I need to short that, make that a clip, okay, and put that out there because that's a good one. But going back to Darren's comment, I'll give it to Craig first. Can you explain risk curve, okay? And can we talk about risk curve and at different points of the cycle where the risk curve actually matters?
Well, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by risk curve, Greeny, unless you just mean heading towards the cycle and the risk increases over time because the cycle ends, or e.g. time compresses and the curve goes like that. Give me, yeah. What do you mean more?
I think, okay, let's unpack that. So I think yes. So how at different points in the cycle the risk curve is different. So like you just said, right now with Bitcoin at 105,000, with Solana at $250. the risk, you're way up on the risk curve, okay? However, where you want to go is also even maybe further down the risk curve because there's so much liquidity, there's so much attention in the space, okay?
Mm-hmm.
However, if we flip forward or flip back a couple of years in the middle of the bear market, you're not going down into the bottom of the risk curve. Sure, someone like me went and did fundamental thesis, again, fundamental keyword, thesis of Radium. I was like, okay, I'll allocate some money there, okay? Because I do think it probably falls under the catalyst of Solana. However, you're not going to be going down and trying to trace 100x meme coins in the trenches in the middle of the bear market, okay? Because the risk is too high, too far down the curve. However, when attention, when liquidity, when the United States president talks about a meme coin, talks about crypto, yes, that is when you go, okay, I don't even care. I'm clicking buy, closing my eyes, and just Hail Marrying it because I've seen what crypto can do across the space.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And I think that's spot on. Just spot on. I think a big thing for people as well is, or a big lesson that I've learned is have, and you'll do this with leverage, Greeny, and I do this with spot, is have an allocation of funds that you're going to spend, but only spend a percentage on each bet.
Yes.
So and know what those amounts are. So if you've got 10 grand to spend and you want to have 10 gambles, you've got a grand per gamble.
That's it.
And what that makes you do is it stops you from getting emotional when you see a coin come out and go, oh my God, that's such a good idea. I love this idea. I reckon this is the coin of the run, and you put in your whole 10.
Yeah.
And you blow your whole stack and you rinse yourself and you're like, oh, okay, I've got no money. I can do no plays now.
Yeah.
So I think a smart move for people is, as the risk curve sort of increases, as we climb to the sticky end of the market, ending, just remember just to spend a percentages of that pot. So you don't rinse yourself. That's probably the big one. Don't go all in on anything, guys. If you do and you get a win, hell yeah, but man, risky.
And I think there's risk curves within risk curves, right? And so Darren, like, as he asked, right, like crypto as itself is a risk curve, okay? Bitcoin being the lowest, all the way through to Fartcoin and these other low cap gems being probably at the highest end of the risk curve, okay? And so within that, obviously, you then have sectors and categories that are also within their risk curve. You have the Solana ecosystem, that has a risk curve. You have the meme coins, that has a risk curve, okay? And so and Craig put this exactly right, it's all about percentages. And again, I can sit down with you if you want to check out GTG. You can schedule a call with me for an hour, for half an hour, whatever it is. And we can talk about this and how I have managed to do that accordingly. And so it's all about percentages. It's all about portfolio management. Okay. It's all about risk management. And the best way to do that is literally 0 to 100 and work out where on the risk curve you want to allocate A, B, C, D. And then within A, B, C, D, how much risk do you want to allocate on those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things? Let me give you an example. I'm allocating, I sold a lot of Bitcoin and Solana when Ethereum was down at 2.9K. I'm still up in that trade, which is fantastic. So that was allocated about 20% of my portfolio, maybe a little bit less, actually. I think it was maybe about 10% at the time. I then allocated that further on the risk curve into NFTs because my fundamental thesis was, okay, NFTs are probably going to outperform the underlying asset of Ethereum. And what have you, like my Ethereum bag is now probably worth nearly 40% of my whole crypto portfolio because Pudgies have done well. I swing traded a few Azuki. Jirison likely do very well for me, okay? A few other NFT trades like that mean that I have gone down the first risk curve into the second risk curve. And now I'm starting to go, okay, I'm now quite over leveraged in NFTs into Ethereum. Maybe it's time to rotate back into safer plays, whether that's Bitcoin, whether that's Radium right now, or whether that's actually fiat or USDT stable. So that's a great example of what we do. But again, we talk about this all the time. Very happy to dive into it further. Now, Craig, let's segue a little bit further. Let's talk about NFTs. Let's talk about airdrop season, and obviously Kyoto Yaps as well is a topic I wanted to end with today. Go for it. You go. Which one do you want to talk about? Where do you want to take this conversation?
Yeah, so we can start with the NFTs. Obviously, with the NFTs, we actually saw them take a little bit of a beating over the last little bit. Obviously, a lot of the attention's gone to the Trump coin sucked the oxygen out the room, man. Like that was the catalyst for the heaps of the good shit coins going down. NFTs took a hiding as well. As soon as that Trump coin came out, I mean, you saw Zuki got massacred, but actually just about every ETH NFT got massacred over that little 24, 48-hour period. They're slowly recovering now. I'm sort of wondering where we are in the cycle as far as alts meme coins and NFTs and which order to play them, it looks to me like alts are almost there, man. Looks like
Yeah.
alts going to pop, and I suspect memes go with it, and then perhaps NFTs run second to them. But not 100% sure how it's going to go. What's your thoughts on rotation there? Do you think it's going to go those first and trickle down, or where do you think NFTs are going to sit?
There's a reason I sold my Azuki. Pretty much that's well known, right? I definitely think I just and it's so funny. People defend their bags, people get emotional, but the post I created was an educational event, and it's pretty much played out as expected, right? But that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
It's educational based. Now I do think Azuki still maybe rallies into. I mean, it's 2 days away, Craig. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't rally as much as I thought. And I genuinely thought if it was risk on, okay, Azuki's probably rally closer to 20. Okay, we saw Pudgies get to 35. But I think a big catalyst for me is that it's dropping obviously on Ethereum and on Arbitrum, which is just more bearish. Okay, Pengu dropped on Solana. Pengu was within a 2-week time frame. We didn't even know it was happening. Okay, so that builds hype, that builds speculation. They also allowed 7 million wallets to gain access to it. Anime, sorry, not Anime. Anime, you only have exposure to that if you own the ecosystem, except for maybe some yapping as well.
Mm-hmm.
But within that, people have known about Anime token for about 6-7 months. So that psychologically is actually already embedded into price. Don't get me wrong. I actually love Azuki art. I love the collector point ecosystem. But for someone like me who had tried to enter at about 12.5, look, it's down. It's literally down about so much from when I bought. So I was like, okay. Again, it goes back to what we said before. The risk of me owning an asset that's worth 60,000, 50,000, whatever it was, 50,000 US dollars. I was like, actually, no. And Anime is not going to pay for $50,000. And if anything, my Azuki probably dumps back down to 3 to 5 ETH post airdrop, and probably the token might not come out very hot as well. So I'll probably lose money in this trade, is what I was thinking. So the rotation is a question that you asked. I think yes, but no. We saw Easy come out and buy a CryptoPunk. I've just seen that an autoglyph was bought for 123 ETH right now. Not long ago.
Yeah, I saw it on
13 hours ago. So that's really interesting. So yes, I do think that some rotation from whales, from people that have made a lot of money, maybe does rotate into some of those top assets. I think the only ones to really consider for a medium-term time frame is Pudgy ecosystem. Jirison is one that I've got a lot of money in. Outside that, I think Azuki struggled to maintain attention and hype post airdrop personally. Doodle's also struggling to maintain attention already pre airdrop, whatever they're doing. Abstract, I think, is definitely worth spending time understanding. I'm jumping on with Crypto Elon tonight, which should be a banger live stream. He definitely is someone that knows a lot more about that space. He's speaking to Luca this week as well, so I think that's great as well to watch. So something like that, Kyoto Genesis, maybe if we fundamentally understand what they're doing with that NFT, moving into the airdrop of Kyoto Yaps, I think that's probably the only play. Outside that, I just don't know, Craig. Like, I know Ordinals are suffering. They're down. I know Solana NFTs haven't really performed too well. Mad Lads is up, which is great. But again, they're only up because of a certain catalyst. What happens longer term? What's your thesis?
Yeah, same as you. They're tricky to play at the moment because I just don't know whereabouts they are in the cycle. Are they towards the end? Are they towards the start?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm semi-conservative in them. I've just got my Azukis I still hold because I missed the exit, which is a bit of a bummer because I suspected this would happen. So I'm like, fuck. But it wasn't a case of not executing. It was I just had my price targets out by about 15%, which I hope doesn't hurt me. I think we'll still get a pump there. But so Azuki, I think we'll still go right. But you're exactly right. The attention from NFTs is waning. Shout out Kledos. Look, I just want to shout out Kledos real quick. He's from GTG. He's got a Solana NFT minting at the moment, guys, called Foggies. If you want to check that out, jump on my profile or his profile to check that out. It's minting now. But to go back to the chat, pretty much tough times for NFTs, man. Ordinals as well. I'm down on my puppets by now. Again, I missed my sale of one of my puppets by 10%. So on a 2x there, which is quite a lot of money, man. It was about 25 grand. So that haunts me a little bit, seeing them that low. I'm not going to sell them at this price point. I think they'll pump. So I am willing to risk my capital there. I am willing to see lower. I'm like, no, you know what? I reckon I'm right. the markets maybe argue with me there, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think with NFTs, we're probably at a bit of a bottom by
Yeah.
the looks of things. I mean, could they go lower? Sure. So I actually probably think the risk reward on some of them is probably okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing how much they've gone down. I'm like, it's probably not a bad entry myself. I'm not putting more capital there because
Yeah.
I've got two puppets. I've got an elemental, a couple of beans. I don't want much more money in NFTs.
Yes.
I
Yes.
want most of my money in Bitcoin, Solana, and Ray because.
Exactly.
And the main reason for that is I can almost with 99% certainty say I'll trade those effectively enough to do a 2x.
I
Oh,
like
sorry,
that.
with Bitcoin, a 30% probably minimum.
Yes.
If I'm lucky, the market probably hurt me for saying that, but maybe 20%. But I think with Ray and Solana, we see more upside. NFTs as well, what always concerns me is liquidity.
Yep.
Whereas a meme coin or an old coin I can get out, instantly. NFTs are a bit trickier, so that's why you'll see floors dump because someone like me might want to come in and get out real quick. So I've got to dump the floor 15% to sell mine straight away. Then there's a cascading effect. Then 5 others list lower. Then my one doesn't sell and I've got to list lower again. So annoying, dude. So getting back into NFTs reminded me why they pissed me off, man. Versus shitcoin and meme coins, which are a bit more. I feel like I can pivot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Which I like. I like to be agile in markets. And NFTs, I feel like sometimes I feel weighed down.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're still going to get NFT runs. I think what I think is going to happen is you're going to see, I think, was it Easy that copped the punk, did you say?
Yes.
I think you're going to see more and more people start to cop blue chip assets as they want to flex online. Obviously, Easy's probably one of the first because he's probably made profit more or quick or sooner than others.
Correct.
I think he might be the front runner on that move, and I think you'll see those collections pop off. Which ones I don't know, but I certainly think his punk buy is probably a pretty good one, man.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
I like that. I think that's probably not a bad move. I see a comment there about someone's always wanted a Bored Ape. Not me so much. I don't know how they'll go. I don't know what the catalysts are going to be with them. But the thing I like about punks, man, is punks don't really have to do anything. Whereas Bored Apes kind of need catalysts.
Exactly.
I like punks. Yeah, I like punks just for their, just what's the word? Their historical significance. I mean, but don't get me, Bored Apes has that as well. This is my personal preference. I just think that's sick.
Holy hell. I think this is his here. I was trying to find it. So he bought his for 41 ETH. Already has an offer for 96.4 ETH.
The rich get richer easy.
But it's because of him, right? He's so well that it's worth. But that's just crazy. I mean, like, Craig, would you?
I'd flip that if I was him. I'd flip that and buy 2.
I honestly would. I don't know how much attached he is to it. I wonder if he even knows.
That's the problem with NFTs, eh?
I wonder if he even knows he has a book. I'm sure you get a notification, but I don't know. Would you buy any punks and hold that through? Like, my thinking is Easy probably holds that now for a long time. Do you buy a punk here? I just did some quick math. I basically have 38 ETH across, or 39 ETH across my Jurison and my little Pudgy. So that's basically all my Ethereum exposure. So I could buy a punk if I really wanted to, but then I'm only in one trade. Again, that doesn't have a catalyst. However, that's a good thing, potentially. Yes. I don't know. Do you ever buy, what sort of money wealth would you want to have before you would click buy on a punk and not care about it?
And not care about it?
Yeah. Or like, it's hard,
not need to care.
Is it a trade? That's the first question. Is it a trade?
I think it's a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is a trade. I think that's a good buy by him.
Yeah.
I don't know what the time frame's required to get the win. That's what you were kind of saying. It may be a longer hold. You may be talking 6 months, 12 months. As far as me, what would I need money-wise to get into one? I would want, I'd at least want 2-3 mil liquidity to even start to look at that. 2-3 mil, I'd probably dabble and grab one. I just don't have I don't want to put such a large amount of my net wealth into a picture.
E-liquid JPEG?
Yeah, no. Once again, guys, as Greenie and I speak about, everyone's in a different situation in life.
Yeah.
Myself having a kid, I'm a bit more cautious these days than I was
Yeah.
prior to children, because obviously I've got another life to think about. It's not just mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I think they're sick. I don't have the wealth to justify, showing one of those off. I would if I did. I think that's a great purchase, but yeah, Easy's just ahead of me as far as the wealth creation currently.
I'm going to tweet it out. I think it's such a good tweet. Should Easy Eats Bodega sell his punk? He bought the
yeah, he should he
yesterday for 41.65.
Should he wet that bad boy?
He now there is an offer.
Bro, that's more than double, man.
That is more than double.
It's double plus 15 ETH in your back pocket. So he could buy 2 punks. He could sell it by 2 and have 15 ETH in his pocket.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Jesus, man. For me, that's a must-do trade. Because then you can't lose.
Yeah,
just take your initial back now and have a free punk.
And buy back another punk. Oh, there we go. All right, engage with that tweet, chat.
And he's got the one with the moustache like he's got. He's not going to want to sell that, eh?
No, I know.
Yeah, he's not going to want to sell that. Yeah.
All right, it's in the chat, guys. It's in the chat. Yeah, Nick, Monk's so true. It's in. Nick would be fuming.
Yeah, Nick will be dying. Did Nick sell his punk? He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he rotated his punk a while ago. I
thought so. Yeah, I thought so.
Let me just jump in the Bodogo community and show this as well.
Yeah, man. But no, that's a bloody nice offer. And yeah, were you saying you suspect it's just because it's easy, huh?
I would hazard a guess. Yes, it's a clean punk. Don't get me wrong, but I do think because of him, it's the same. Like, it's like I wonder who you can't see who offered. You can't see who.
It'd be like the Golden Goner ape or something like that, right? If you get any of the Bored Ape founders who ever accidentally used to be, I don't know how this would happen, but someone's going to want it just for the notoriety.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So for me, I don't know, Craig. I also am the same catalyst. Like I know I speak to Zeneca quite often about NFTs, about art.
Yeah, what's Zeneca's thoughts on a punk buy?
He always owns one of every asset. He still owns at least one. Like he owns one Pudgy, he owns one Ape, he owns one Punk, he owns like a few of those high tier art plays as well. But again, he got in so early that it doesn't really matter, right? He got in so early. So I don't know, Craig. And I'm in chat as well. Like I know some people in the chat are like, yeah, I'd love to own an Ape. I probably wouldn't rather own an Ape personally. I'd rather own a Punk over an Ape. I mean, I'm pretty happy owning a Pudgy as well, to be honest. But
at the moment, owning a Pudgy, you'll cop an airdrop. So that's which is the reason why obviously the price is a bit elevated as well. So there's a bit to it. Hey, shout out Dylan Mintz. I'll see you down there, brother. What's up, man?
Yeah. So okay, so let's go. Let's talk briefly and lastly about yapping, Craig. Now,
man. I'm back, man. I'm back on the yaps, dude. I reconnected. Dude, after I earned those 6, I'm going to rant for a sec. I earned my 6. Everyone would have seen this because I was gloating about it, and I actually got good engagement. So thanks, everyone. I needed that engagement boost. I was feeling pretty down on myself in engagement, but good for the ego. So thank you. But I earned 6 yaps on not my first day, but when I earned them. And then I didn't get any, and I started putting out a few what I thought were decent posts. And I went in yesterday, and I was like, it's not fucking connected. Reconnected it, woke up this morning, and I've earned another 20 something.
Wait, so where do you go? Your settings?
Settings was more settings and privacy.
Yeah. Security
and access, apps and sessions, connected apps. And it's not there again, bro. It's gone again. What the fuck?
Mine's not there either.
Yeah, but I don't know. But I reconnected it last night, woke up this morning, and I've got 16 more. I'm like, what?
It's weird that yours isn't connected. I should disconnect from some of these. Holy.
Yeah, I got rid of it.
But I'm still earning yaps. Like here's some. Apparently it only works for crypto native discussions. Is what my understanding is. And if you're farming, it won't get it. So, for example, when I was retweeting all my Twitch stream and my Trump stuff, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so it's actual engagement on the platform or in discussions with crypto. So that's why people like Mert who kills it with a particular Solana going down. It's crazy. That was great engagement for him. Someone like him, like Cigar as well, obviously.
Hey, Daniel got hits is on there, the dirty dog with 270 something.
Yeah.
You're kidding, but he's good, man. He always puts out the banger topical tweets that are so like to rustle people's jimmies. I love that dude, man.
Exactly. So like, I don't know, I've earned 7 yaps in the past 24 hours. So I mean, if one yap comes out to be $10, like it should be I think this would be a great airdrop. I don't know if it'll be $10, but wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Man, I'm optimistic. I mean, I was happy to wake up today and I saw, I've got 18 now in the last 24 hours. So it just keeps going up. So after I connected it again, it's like it returned on. But then I go into the settings there and it's gone again. So I'm like, what the actual F's going on? But so I'm starting to earn them again, which is nice because it was kind of a bummer because I was like, man, I'm putting out all this what I thought was half decent content again. And I was like, why is this not even getting one yap? Reconnected it, and like I said, I got 18 overnight. So I don't know what. I didn't really have the answer for that. Now I'm at a bit of a loss because now it says it's not connected again. So I don't know what's going on. But Greenie, yours is not connected, and you're earning a shitload. So I don't know if you've got direct dial to Mr. Yaps or something. But Greenie's killing it.
So just to clarify, it's not an offer on the punk. Apparently, it's him listing it at that price.
It's not an offer.
No, it's not. Even though it says offered 96. Okay.
Damn.
So shout out to Node, shout out to Cozzy for the alpha. Maybe I'll retweet. My apologies. My apologies. Obviously priced out of owning a punker. My apologies. This is his listing. They should reword this.
Yeah, they should reword that. I guess he doesn't look as grimy, but you're about to call him out now. You're like, oh, you little flipper.
Yeah.
I see what's going on, man.
I probably should
delete
the post. I'll just delete the post. That's not an offer. Offer means he listed it. Yeah, I mean, that's so. Hold on, let me screenshot it and say, my apologies. They need to reword it.
Someone just wrote in the chat, ODGM, what qualifies as a proper yap? Now, I would answer that, but Greenie's on 10x the yaps I've got, so I'll probably let Greenie answer that question.
Craig, what's your thesis on that question first, and then I'll answer it.
Man, I'm going to say thoughtful posts that drive conversation. So not so much a statement. Oh, no, sometimes a statement can do it because they can rustle people's jimmies. But I would say a post that then creates discussion whereby you reply, but with meaningful, thoughtful replies rather than just LFG or to the moon or yeah, brother, all the best or something like that. Rather to their reply, try and keep the convo going. If you can. I don't mean spam the dude, but if someone replies in a meaningful way, give them a meaningful reply back in a timely manner. That would be my take on it. It's the same take that I had about a week ago and I wasn't earning any. But I think the reason why I think I earned the 18 yaps is that Bitcoin sale post I put up.
Yeah.
That hit 70,000 engagements at the moment or something. So that's probably what, and a massive amount of discussion happened within that, because obviously there was people saying, I'm selling at this price, or how much did you sell, Craig? Which, by the way, is 30%. Someone asked in the chat, no, 30% I've sold now. So once you get people asking questions like that and you reply with, I think data or information-rich replies work. So that seems to be good. I don't know about going out there. What's it like, Greenie? What do you reckon the results will be if you go out there and farm it and hit topical conversations?
I think, like I just brought up here, like if you talk about specific topics, any of these topics here,
like Trump would go bonkers, right?
Oh, yes, but
not so much. You reckon?
No, you need to relate it back to probably mindshare, to AI, to one of these specific topics.
Okay.
And crypto, it needs to be crypto specific. So
sorry, right.
So that's why, and that needs to be engagement. It also needs to be comments and tweets and posts and all that sort of stuff. So Walls, shout out to Walls, absolute good follow, guys. He's been killing it. He's been killing it on Fantasy Top for a long time. He's obviously also been doing other things.
Still rocking,
Leon. So I'm going to talk to Leon about this tonight, what his strategies are. Obviously, it helps with him building on Abstract. I think that's new. That's exciting. That keeps engagement nice and high. So it'd be good to hear his thoughts tonight. But as you can see here, it's like pretty much like your standard sort of stuff. People that report regularly on the market. Whale reports about NFTs every day. B-Check reports about market wide. ISOBeast talks about AI, that sort of stuff. Cigar is building on abstract. Liam talks about AI every day. Kicks, I'm not sure who that is. Kermit, obviously, has just been great with the engagement recently. Walls as well with the engagement recently. Lambo Land, great follow as well across the crypto market. So that's what I mean. Like if you talk about a specific topic, and again, you can dive into anime, and you'll see the whole Azuki system here. So you'll see people slightly different. You'll see Min, you'll see different people across here as well with Mindshare as well. If you're more into other like Eclipse or whatever, I don't even know what Eclipse is, but you can dive in here and dive into certain topics like Say. Who's talking about Say? All right. And that's what I mean. So if you want to find a niche and you want to maybe talk about it a bit more, then bang, there's the people you should follow and use that as a source. So that's probably what I'd use it for. But at the moment, CT, this is the CT Mindshare across the platform, across the whole space. AI XBC still has the most, Mert, then Vitalik, Anton, blah, 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 blah. So it's like someone like this, as you can see, like for you to break into this, you literally have to be on your game. You can't like shit post. You can't comment the wrong things. You can't talk about oil like I did this morning. You can't talk about bread. You need to curate your timeline impeccably well. So I hope that makes sense.
It does, yeah, definitely. And I guess you actually touched on it then. A good thing to do is go find the topics that are kind of hot at the moment, or the mindshare topics that are taking the center stage, and probably go engage on those particular topics, because probably you'll find the algorithm wants to boost you.
Yeah.
So you can. I might start doing that. Actually, I might start looking at what topics are kind of currently the hot topic and more aggressively pursue them. It's probably a good farming technique, where probably the best way to farm, because this is quite hard to farm.
Yeah.
It takes effort to farm this, man. No bot's it'll be hard to farm this bot wise, because you've actually got to be your replies got to be quite careful.
Yeah.
Like we said, threads seem to go quite well.
Yes, long posts and threads do very well. Yes, correct. Like here, and Wolves just said thanks for the shout out in the Badogo Discord. So I'll bring him up. This is a great example of someone who is a smaller account, who's definitely worth a follow in general, right? But also just like different things. So he's writing articles. So again, long posts, articles, okay, threads, they dominate. As you can see here, he's talking specifically, he's found his niche on Yaps per se, and on Kyoto, the app itself. Okay, he still talks broadly about crypto, okay, because that still does give you obviously some exposure as well with Yaps. And when I went viral the other day, I was talking about crypto, okay? So you can still obviously do it as well. He always gives summaries back into obviously Kyoto, the app, and how well that's doing as a SocialFi platform, how you can use it, all those sorts of things. So that's probably the way to go about it. And OD comes in here and says thoughtful content. Yeah, it's thoughtful content, but it's engaging content based on education, based on analysis, all that sort of stuff. So, and then also he still is using classic CT plays. Okay. Oh, have I shared it? Oh, no, I haven't shared it. Goodness. Here I am giving a full summary of his profile, and you're not even there. Okay, here we go. All right, there. So here's some so wrote an article. Okay, it's still writing longer posts. Great example, talking specifically about the topics, talking broadly about crypto as well, the hot topics. Obviously, that's been the meme coins over the weekend. Still talking about general things as well. Trump and Kyoto raps every day around his profile, his success, those sorts of things. And then also doing this, still engagement farming on Twitter. Okay, that's a key point. Okay, no matter what these SocialFi platforms do, simple engagement farms like this are unfortunately just part of the game. Okay, and as soon as you learn to accept that, and as soon as you start to participate in that, you will grow your social following, and you'll also grow your airdrop. Okay, that's probably the best strategies that I'd suggest.
Spot on. I think that's probably the best way, and possibly the only way to approach this. I haven't found a hack, guys, yet.
Yeah. No, and I mean, it's not going to be made known publicly, so you might as well just keep going on based on what we just discussed.
And it looks like just simply replying, like with other farming things in the past, we just reply with an emoji or one word isn't going to cut it on this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know, Craig, is there anything else you want to talk about? That's been a banger stream, about an hour and a half today. Anything else you want to talk about today?
No, probably not so much, man. I think we've probably covered most of the market. I can't think of too much we haven't covered, but a lot. Yeah, that was a lot to go over. I think, I hope everyone got something out of that. And man, I'm super optimistic for this Q1 we're in at the moment. I think this is going to be a pretty good pretty good time. The chart's looking fantastic. It looks like a lot of coins, alts, and memes are looking to pop off. So there should be a lot of money flowing around the ecosystem, and hopefully it flows into my Azuki assets.
Yeah.
What about you, Greenie? Anything else you want to cover?
No, I think we covered quite a lot of alpha today, guys. So obviously, thanks for being here. If you're new here, guys, give us a sub, give us a follow. Shout out to Darren for the Prime on Twitch. Very much appreciate it. If you are new on Twitch, I'm trying to grow that as well. Greenie Trades, go give me a follow. Sub if you like the content. I stream every day. Might do another personalized stream later. But otherwise, give Craig a follow as well. Craig's Coin Purse on YouTube and on Twitter, guys. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday Australian mornings, or obviously Monday or Wednesday nights in the US. So, Craig, thanks again, mate. Lovely show, and I'll see you again on Thursday.
Thanks, Greenie. We'll see you then. See you then, guys.
All right, thanks, everyone. Cheers.